Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Today I Want to Be Career Exploration Interview. I'm your host, Martinique Brown. I'm so excited that you guys have decided to tune into the show today. I'm really excited about our guest professional on the show. We have author Lorna Lewis here on the show, and she's actually going to be talking to us about what her life looks like as an author. Now, I know that some of you guys may be saying to yourself, Martinique, you're always talking to authors. I know, so that's why I had to have an author featured in my very first calendar, just because I just love the stories that authors write. And I told Lorna one time, I said, I'm telling you, y'all titles are so enticing. It really just makes us want to just read it. And then she's looking like, that's the point, Martinique. That's the point. But I'm really excited that you guys have decided to tune in. Now, the purpose of this show is so your young person, your child, your niece, your nephew, your grandchild can actually take time and explore the life of an author. So what we would love for you to do is share this video now so that more people will know about my company Today I Want to Be, as well as our products and just about our professionals in general. Now, one of the great things about this show being live is you can actually type in your questions and ask Lorna questions as well. So if you're watching from any other page other than Martinique Y. Brown or Today I Want to Be, make sure you go ahead and come to one of those pages, and then I can see your questions and comments, and I will relay those to Lorna as well. So you all know my co-host, Asha. Asha, if you can just let people know just a little bit more about yourself, that would be great.
Hello, everyone. My name is Asha Harris. I am a senior at Winter Park High School and a hopeful freshman at Louisiana State University.
Come on, recruits, y'all better get her. Y'all better get her. She's interested in going to the medical field. So, Lorna, can you tell the viewers just a little bit more about yourself?
Yes. First of all, thank you for having me. I'm so excited. My name is Lorna Lewis. I write under the pen name L.A. Lewis. I've been an author for 10 years, and I'm also a writing coach. So I help women in particular, well, women and men, but women have been my main audience. I help them write their books. I help them tell their stories. So not only am I writing, I'm also teaching and coaching and motivating and encouraging and all of that other good stuff.
That's good. And we're going to get deeper into that. And another thing is, so some of you guys may be thinking to yourself, how in the world do I stay in contact with Lorna? All of her contact information is listed in the description box. If you're interested in following Today I Want to Be as well, all of our social media links are in the description box. And make sure that you just take some time and explore our career exploration products. This year, I added on, well, not this year, but for 2021, I added on Black men. So I'm excited to have them on board as well. But all of that information is listed in the description box. So I'll ask the first question. I'll start us off. So Lorna, how did you become interested in becoming an author?
I've always loved literature. I've always loved stories. I was that child who wanted to lay in the bed and read instead of going outside and running around playing. So I've just loved stories, but I never really saw myself writing them actually until, 10 years ago. I was a second grade teacher. I was working on a workbook because I realized that between second and third grade, there was a gap. So I was working on a workbook to use with my second graders at the end of the year to prepare them for third grade. And in the workbook, of course, English, I started writing short stories and I was asking questions about the stories. And I was sucked in, I guess you could say. I'm writing these stories and it's like, okay, these are for kids. You have to stop this story. You cannot keep writing.
Right.
So I finished the workbook. And then I started writing my first novel. I knew I wanted it to be about a teacher. I read it to my husband, the first part of it. He told me, nope, trash that. That's not it.
Really? Such honesty. Gotta love
I
it.
love it because look, when I first started, it wasn't good, and I knew it wasn't good. But I told him, but it gets better. You just have to keep reading. So he was like, "Well, don't keep reading. I mean, it has to be good from the start." So
Right.
that was like you're right, you know.
Mhm.
So that's how I started working, writing for children, for my second graders actually. And the bug hit me, and it's been uphill from there.
So I know when you say when you wrote the book for them, was it just a children's book or was it actually a curriculum?
No, no, it was supposed to be passages, just
Mm.
passages that they would read and answer questions from, and short passages with mistakes that they would have to go in and correct things like that. So
Mhm.
basically, a workbook. That's what I
Okay.
was supposed to be doing, but like I
Uh-huh.
said, I got so caught up in the story part of it, it was hard to finish
Uh-huh.
the workbook.
Mhm.
So growing up, what was your favorite book genre?
Oh, fiction still is. I love fiction. See, I may be telling my age. I'm from the Beverly Cleary, Judy Blume era. So
Uh-huh.
I love those books. I'm telling you, during the summers, we used to have a summer reading program. I'm from a very small town
Mhm.
called Varnado. So we used to have a summer reading program at the library. And, my brother, he wasn't interested in going to the library for the summer reading program. He a boy, he wanted to be out playing, but I was like all for it. Let's go.
Uh-huh.
It is
Uh-huh.
time to go. And those are the books I was looking forward to continuing. So I love fiction.
So because of your love for fiction books, is are those the only genres that you stick with? Is that the only genre you stick with?
No, no, I wrote a daily devotional. I wasn't
Mm.
supposed, well, like I said, I wasn't supposed to write the daily
Uh-huh.
devotional. The daily devotional, I don't know why, but well, I think I know why. My dad had this Bible. It was a contemporary English version Bible,
Mhm.
and it was just so plain. So it was like once I would read it, the message was so clear. I started typing out my interpretation, what I felt like the Spirit was giving me from that
Mhm.
passage or from those scriptures, and I started sending those out every morning. And before I knew it, I had a year's worth really. So my dad is the one who encouraged me to put them in a book. So I also have a daily devotional as well as my fiction novels.
So when you say you start sending them out, are you saying like sending them out to friends and family
Yeah,
members?
I started emailing them every morning.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Yeah, I know.
um, so I know that there's so many authors who actually want to write full time. How do you maintain a consistent income from writing? And are there other additional things that you do to bring in more income?
My full-time job is coaching. So that's my main income, coaching my clients through writing their books and helping them publish their books. But I also, of course, do my have my own books, and I speaking engagements and going to different events. Of course, we hadn't been able to attend any this year, but usually down here we have the Louisiana Book Festival, and just trying to look for different festivals and events. And I'm not saying that's bringing in a whole heap of money,
Mhm.
but it does what we need. But like I said, the main thing is my coaching.
Okay. Okay.
So I want to go back a little bit and ask you, how are you able to balance between delivering your message and keeping your reader entertained?
Ooh. Usually when I write, I think about movies and how all movies, there's a message. I don't care what the movie is, there's still a theme. It's something that you're gonna learn out of is love conquers all, out of is forgiveness, out of is faith. It's something you're gonna get from this movie. But it's also still entertaining. So when I'm writing my book, because when you think about it, real life is entertaining on its own. So when I think about my characters, that's what I think about, real life situations and trying to put them in those real life situations while also making sure that the message, the overall theme of my book still remains and is clear to my readers. So they're still going to go through stuff. They're still going to go through things that the everyday person goes through. So I think that's really more the entertaining part, because when you think about reality TV, it's so popular because people feels like it's reality and people just get drawn into the lives of other people. So it's not that hard to entertain and tell the message, because it's just everyday drama.
So I know that your husband was very instrumental in that first book. Do you still kind of need him to help you to like discern if this is a good book or not for you, like, or storyline?
Not no, no.
Uh,
Not necessarily the storyline, but what I use him for, and now my son, because my son is 18, I feel like, okay, he's a young man. What I use them for are my male characters, because,
okay.
sometimes as women, we write males that could sometimes be more, give them more of our qualities,
Yeah.
not really understanding, no, a man wouldn't react like that. No, a
Uh,
man wouldn't say that.
yeah.
So I use
You like
them.
bring it back, Lorna. Bring
Right.
it back.
So I use them, for that purpose. So, but
Okay.
not necessarily. And sometimes when I get ideas, I will share it with them. But that's about the extent of it when it comes to them.
Yeah. So now I want to give a shout out to Regina. Thank you so much, Regina, for tuning in. Make sure you go ahead and share this video now. So Lorna, are there classes that you recommend that would really help a viewer out there that's a student become a great writer or storyteller?
I've taken a couple. I've taken a couple classes. I'm actually in a class right now. Rhonda McKnight has a class that is phenomenal. Like, even after 10 years of writing, I still feel like there's still so much to learn with the craft of writing. And Rhonda's class right now, we're working on character. Right now, we're working on plot. It's just so much that she teaches us every week. She's a good resource. I've taken a class under Victoria Christopher Murray. I'm not really sure if Victoria is doing any classes anymore. Also, Masterclass. I signed up to Masterclass, and Judy Bloom actually has a Masterclass on there. Now that one is, a subscription. But also YouTube. I go to YouTube all the time to look for tips and ideas, and just to kind of get some nuggets from other authors. So that's a free resource.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. So what is the typical process that you go through when you are writing a novel?
Mm, Typical process. Now I'm gonna tell you, the from idea to first word for me may take maybe a month or so.
Wow.
Because sometimes I just have to stew on the idea for a minute. I just have to really think about this idea, really think about these people, and try to figure out, do I have enough material to actually carry a whole novel? Or is this
Mm.
enough just for a short story? I just have to figure out where I'm going with this. And I am what people call a pantster. I don't do outlines, I just write. So, and I've attempted to do outlines, but they just don't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's my outlining process, just thinking about it. So once I get the idea and I think about the idea, I may talk about it with some of my author friends and kind of bounce ideas off of them. After that, once I realize, okay, where I want to go with this story, that's when I start writing. Now, understand, my rough draft is really, really rough. Probably half of what I have right now, working on a novel, probably half of what I have is going to go in the omitted file. I'm not going to throw it away. I'm just going to put it in my file that I omit. But that's because it takes me some time to warm up to the story, even after I start writing it. But I still have to get that out in order to get to where I want to be in this story. I have to get all that other stuff out of me first. So I have been working on this novel. Well, I put it down and picked it back up again, I'll be honest. And but it usually takes me probably about a year to get the whole novel out of me. Now
Wow.
that's not published. That's just getting it out. But again, understand, I'm not just writing anymore. So, I have to dedicate my time to my clients and everything, get my children and everything else I have going on. So that's what, when I wrote my first novel, I wrote that novel in probably about 3 months. I believe, if not shorter. But that's the thing too, especially if you're interested in writing. I think for me, it takes me longer because of my expectations. Because like once you have one out and it's done well, now you have to live up to that.
Yeah.
And you start critiquing yourself as you're writing, and that takes so long. That happened to me actually with this novel that I'm working on now. I let like 2 or 3 of my writer friends read the first 3 chapters, and they loved it. And after they told me they loved it, I was like frozen, because it was like, what am I going to, how am I going to top this? Like, I need them to love all of it. And I felt so much pressure to make sure each chapter is just as good or better than the next one, that it was slowing me down. So I have to learn how to get out of my own head and just let whatever comes out, and fix it later. So that's what I'm working on with myself.
Well, can you just talk to us a little bit about how being an author is not like a one-person show? Like, who else do you have to bring on your team for your book to just be a phenomenal book?
I have my beta readers. Those are people that I don't really, I know them, but we're not so close that they're scared to hurt my feelings.
Okay.
So well, let me tell you, my first set of readers are my friends. So I have my cousins and my best friend who helped me with the first part of it, because they're the cheerleaders. Like, I don't care what I write, they're going to be like, oh my goodness, that is so good.
Yeah.
So they're the ones who helped cheer me on through this process, right? Then there are the beta readers. The beta readers are the ones that's like, girl, what are you doing? What is, I don't even understand what this is right here. So those are the people I look
hold on. Lorna, if you guys do not know, Lorna lives in Louisiana. Don't you just love her accent? Don't you just love it? Girl, okay, I'm sorry. Keep going.
I assume it's coming out. So my beta readers help me to understand, to say, I don't understand what this is, fix this. No, they don't really edit, they just critique. So after I go through them, then it goes to the editor. Now I'm telling you, if you have a good editor, you're probably not going to like her during that process, because a good editor is really going to tear your stuff up. Like, she's going to be all over you thinking, oh my goodness, this is the best chapter I've written. And she's like,
Yeah.
So all of them, plus my graphic design person who helps me make sure the book cover is draws in the reader, because that's the first thing they're going to see. And my formatter, the interior formatter, to make sure that it's formatted for ebook and for paperback. So it's a whole host of people that make sure a book gets from idea to Amazon or wherever it is.
So what are 3 things you wish you would have known, or wish somebody would have told you before you became an author?
The first thing, definitely, I wish someone would have told me there's a difference between a writer and an author. I really wish someone would have told me that, because I was just in writing. Yeah. When I wrote my first book, I guess that's why I really didn't take long, because I had no plans for it. It was just something I wanted to do. But a writer is just that. You're sitting at the computer or wherever writing. But an author has to market and promote and do speaking engagements and go to book sign. It's a business. Being an author is a business. I have an education background, so business not really my forte. So having to learn all of that was a real struggle for me in the beginning. Okay. So I wish someone would have told me that. The second thing I wish someone would have told me was to really learn the craft first. I felt like I learned as I went along, and that wasn't bad, but I still wish I would have known a lot more about pulling together a story. It's so much more than just story. It's a whole lot more than just story. There's research, and research come in all different forms. Research could be people watching. I just wish I would have paid more attention and attended more classes and gone to more seminars and talked to more authors before I decided to publish my book. The The third thing I think I'm still trying to learn, which I mentioned not too long ago, was not to overthink it while I'm writing it. The overthinking process comes during the rewrite, but while I'm writing, to just write, to just, like I said, let whatever comes out come out. Misspelled, that's my biggest hang up, trying to edit, critique, and write at the same time. So, and people are constantly saying that still. I hear it almost every day. It's just getting myself to understand it and to actually do it. That would be nice.
Yeah. That's good.
So while reading on your background and some of the things that you do, what made you want to get into script writing?
Actually, my friend Wari and I worked together on Secrets from the Bayou. She encouraged me to turn, because Secrets from the Bayou was a blog series where I was just putting out these blogs every week, like 1,000 words every week, just like a soap opera, but in written form. So she was one who encouraged me to take that series and make it into a script. Now, I'm really happy I did, because I learned, there is a big difference between writing a novel and writing a script. Like, you should have seen my first script. They were like, you don't have to say all of this stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to see it. So trying to train my brain not to be a novelist versus a script writer was kind of hard for me, because I'm so used to giving every single detail. So that part was hard for me, but it was so rewarding to see the words that I wrote actually come to life. I'm so used to seeing them in my head, then to see it just play out on screen, that was amazing. So I'm so happy I did that, and more is coming eventually.
So with the script writing, let me think for a minute. So with the script writing, do you sometimes, or can you can sell your scripts to other people, correct?
Right.
Who would those people be called? Would it just be a director?
Honestly, I don't know. Well, I don't know who you would sell it to. I don't know if it would be a production company that you would sell it to. I've never looked into actually selling it, so I'm not really sure. But I'm thinking it would probably be a production company or someone like that.
Yeah. So now, were you a part of, because you said that you actually saw your script come to life, were you a part of that production as well? Or it's just more so like, okay, here it is, I'm gonna let the director do his thing?
No, I was there every day on the set waiting to film, and it's so hard as a writer.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how hard it would be to write and just step away.
Yeah.
Because as a writer, you want to direct, because you know exactly how you imagine these words being spoken. You know how the reaction, you've seen all of it already. So you want it to go that same way. So it's hard not to step in and be like, well, maybe they should say it like this, or maybe they should do, but it's also trusting the characters. We worked with a wonderful cast, and they really took that script and ran with it. So, even though I wanted to step in, once I saw what they were doing, it like, okay, y'all have it, they did great.
So I know that, I'm sorry, Asha.
Oh, it's fine.
I know that my school did not have this, unless maybe I just didn't participate in it. I really don't think we had it. But
Okay.
I know that some high schools do theater.
Mhm.
So would you and see, Asha, you must have it. Y'all have it?
Oh, my school's theater department, something serious. Once we get out of this, what's happening, you have to come by and really see them, and like maybe for like a week, just see like the stress and the process that they go through.
Wow.
It's intense. Because I was talking to, they include not just only the theater department, like they include all of the departments. So sometimes they'll reach out to, I'm in digital videography. Sometimes they'll reach out to us. Hey, can you guys do this, do this, do this? And we're like, okay. And then sometimes they may reach out to chorus because they want some
yeah.
background singers.
Yeah.
We also have an a cappella group that they may want them to do like background noises. We have sometimes they reach out to the band. They want them to do certain things. It's a big deal. Theater department.
I'm telling you, when I watch shows and stuff and I see the high schoolers doing theater, I'm like, we didn't have this stuff. What? I mean, still shout out to Dayton. I still love y'all. But we didn't have it. Maybe they got it now. Maybe they got it now. But how would you encourage that young person who feels that they have a really good story to tell to go to maybe their theater teacher and let them know about that script that they've written?
I would say just do it. I mean, you have to believe in yourself. And as I told you, I'm from Warnado, Louisiana.
Uh-huh.
So we certainly didn't have a theater department.
Uh-huh.
We had one department.
All right. One department. Yeah.
Well, we did have athletics. We had football and basketball and track, and that's it. So, basically you just have to believe in yourself and your words and your message enough to muster up the courage to just go out and do it, to present it to them. They may want to read it. They may want you to write just something short about it. I'm not really sure how that works in terms of in school because I taught elementary. So I'm not really sure about, those big major productions. We had Christmas programs. That's about it in our elementary school. But I know a lot of young people and now, especially with the internet, it is so easy. I'm not going to say easy. Easier to get your message out there, to put together something with your iPhone. You can just put together a quick synopsis or a quick video or trailer of, and to show it to your theater teacher or that department to see if they're interested in, even if it wouldn't be that school year, next school year, because you probably need time to revise it and, any backdrops and all of that good stuff.
But I'm really glad that you said that because I feel that, we really do have a lot of people or adults, hopefully, if any young people are watching, I hope that you do have adults in your life that encourage you. And so even if your school doesn't pick it up, they say, nah, I don't think so. There's different like recreation centers, there's also, maybe your church or something like that doesn't mind you trying, just trying these things out. And so, and then some places, some parks has like those amphitheaters and things like that. So, just write your story. That's the first part of it. But also, just ask around and see what happens. But yeah, I think that that's really good that you said that, Lorna.
Thank you.
So which one of your works would you like to see come to life in the future?
Definitely the one I'm working on now, which I can't say too much about.
Oh, give us like this much. Can you tell us like this much?
This much?
Yeah.
Okay. It's about a woman who, well, I can tell you, this is about a woman who married her sister's husband.
Oh no. Did I tell you that y'all can follow Lorna? Follow Lorna. Her social media links are in the description box. Whenever she releases that book.
Yes. Well, I left her deceased sisters. So I guess he would be a widower.
It's still a no-no.
So see, that's the challenge. That's the challenge because I want to write this story in such a way that a no-no seems acceptable. So that's
gonna have to make her a really good character because I'm already not liking her.
So by the time you read it, though, you're gonna be like, you have seen those books or seen those movies, all those books where you should be rooting for this person,
right?
But something on the inside of you just want them to win.
Yeah.
So that's that one definitely I want to see. Or my short story that I did a few summers ago, which was Torn, A Daughter's Love, about a daughter Both her parents needed a kidney. She was the only match out of her other three siblings. She was the only match. So it was who gets the kidney? Both of them desperately needs it, her mom and her dad. So it's basically like, how do you choose between which one of your parents you let live and which one you allow to die? So yeah.
It's like whoever treated me right this last time.
That's right, mama and daddy.
I know that's right.
I love
never
both of
know.
My parents. That's a hard decision.
That's good. Put that on that lab,
is.
girl. Get that card. But so Lorna, how do you not compare yourself with like other writers or maybe script writers and things like that? Because like you said, there are other stories out there with that same storyline with, maybe a sibling marrying their sibling spouse. How do you not compare yourself and you still do it?
I can't compare myself because even though the storyline may be similar, we are different writers. So there's still going to be something about my story that's going to make it different from their story. Not only the plot or the characters or the setting, but also my voice. What I bring to the story is going to be a whole lot different than what another author would bring to the story. You could give us the exact same storyline with the exact same characters and the exact same plot, and it's still going to come out totally different because of our different personalities, our different experiences and things like that we would bring to a story. So it's really hard, honestly, not to, especially authors that you really love. You're like, oh, I want to be on that level. Oh, but I have to understand that these people have been writing for 25, 30 years, some of them. So it's and they're still learning and growing. So it's a process, and just understanding that I have an audience for my books. And right now, my audience expect me to show up. They don't expect anyone else to show up in my book. So I have to stay true to who I am and the messages and the plot and the characters that I create for my readers.
So now, what would you tell your younger self?
Oh, I think I would tell my younger self I would definitely tell my younger self not to procrastinate. I procrastinated my whole life. Everything has been, I'm gonna get to it. Eventually I do, but I do know I waste a whole lot of time. And even in college, I convinced myself that I do better when I procrastinate. Like I really conditioned myself. I did. It was like, if I start on this too early, it's not gonna come out right. Because I was better under pressure. That's what I told myself. And I believed that. That was not true. Was not true at all. And it's also something that I try to get my own children to not do. Don't procrastinate. I don't care if the teacher gave you 2 weeks. There was a reason, because you feel like you need all 2 of those weeks to complete this project, not a day before.
But they better learn. Asha, do you procrastinate?
Yes, I do. Not gonna lie. I'm procrastinating right now.
As soon as I get done with this interview, I'm doing my homework.
It's not even homework. It's an essay paper that's due on Monday.
Oh, you got
and how long did you have that paper?
Since the beginning of the summer.
See?
Whoa. I know you're gonna kill it. I feel it.
But like,
do you ever ask yourself though, Asha, like, do you ever ask yourself, why do I do this to myself?
I have, and the answer that always comes out is that you have a very creative mind. So even if you started early, you know yourself and you're going to eventually probably scrap all of that and just write something totally different. And that's the thing, like, I'm trying to work on with making final decisions earlier. And not like, okay, this is what I'm going to do.
And I think sometimes, and this is what I was thinking about, Lorna. Like, how do you just say, okay, you know what? This is good. I'm done with it, and I'm not writing anymore. Because I feel like what Asha was saying is kind of like, you know, that you're gonna just scrap all of it, especially when you are creative. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, even if you are the type of person that knows you have to do things well, sometimes another person that's reading it might or is looking at something might not even see the imperfection in it. They might think
Right.
it's great. And so,
Right.
but you are like, oh no, I still gotta do such and such. Like, how do you just back away from it and say, you know what, Lorna, this is good and we are done?
I think that's actually when the editor comes in.
Mm.
Once I get to writing when I do my rewrites, and I have to have an editor because I'm actually the opposite. Like I feel like I love everything
Mm-hmm.
that I write, and it to me serves a big purpose until someone points out you don't have to say this for your reader to know this. You don't have to put this in here. So for me, it's not putting so much deep. And I think that's too what really slowing me down because just okay, think about when you're reading a book and they're describing the characters, right? I don't want people to just tell me she has long hair and you know dark eyes and whatever her skin tone. To me, it's like don't just dump all of that on me. I need to learn her through. I need to know how she looked through something else, if that makes sense. So even the
Okay.
setting, I don't want you to tell me there was a brown couch sitting on the gray wall on the wooden floor. It. So for me, I'm trying to set all of this up the way I
Mm-hmm.
would want to read it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's also what slows me down because I'm trying to make sure everything I put in this story serves a purpose. Even the brown couch. The brown couch has to serve a purpose. Either someone gave them the brown couch and it's a sentimental piece. It has
Mm-hmm.
to have a purpose in this story.
Right.
So trying to get all of that to fit within a complicated story already
Mm-hmm.
is my thing. So I think for this one, I'm gonna know when it's over. Like most of them, when the characters are done. Like
Yeah.
my characters let me know we have nothing else to give
I
to
love
this
that. It's like you're
story.
in a whole different world.
It
That's so
really is, and I
great.
know like the writer pick my. That's why I have to talk with my writer friends because they get it. When I say this character will not shut up, and I'm ready to move on,
Yeah.
they understand what it's not. I don't feel crazy talking to them
Mm-hmm.
about the people talking in my head because they have people talking in their head.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like last night because I'm trying to make it a point to write every single day. I don't
Okay.
care if it's 2 words. I need to add something to the story every single day. So last night I think I kind of ended where I got tired. So I stopped at a point I guess I should have kept writing because while I was sleeping, I'm still thinking about these people and where I left them off. Like what we gonna work on today.
Mm-hmm.
So they stay with you. Like they do not let go. So once they quiet themselves, I know that okay, it's time for y'all to wrap up.
I love it. That's so good. That is excellent. So Asha, did you have any other questions for Lorna?
Yes, my final question is if you could for a day live the life of a different professional, whom would it be?
Uh, okay, this is gonna sound so weird. But if I could, I think I know I would want to be a crime scene investigator
Really?
because
You can take that blood and
oh, I
Yes.
love the ID channel. Like, love it. I want to be there to see everything. Now, yeah, I'll have to get over the blood. I don't really like blood, but to be in the midst of everything, maybe it's because I'm nosy. I just want to know, like, who do y'all think did this?
stuff.
So, and what's the background and what happened to lead up to all of this? What were they involved in? Like, and that could be the author part of me, just asking questions. I need to know what happened. So
Mhm.
I would love to be a crime scene investigator.
You should write you should have a character that maybe that's her job or
I should.
something. That would be so good. So now, Lorna, how can people stay in contact with
Well, I'm on Facebook as Arthur L.A. Lewis. My Instagram is different because that's for my clients. That's where I get a lot of my clients. So my Instagram is Lorna underscore loves underscore writing. But my if you want to email me, it's Arthur L.A. Lewis at gmail.com. I love
Okay.
talking about stories. So if
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
wanna set some bounce off some ideas, we can.
That's excellent. So now you guys, if you didn't have your pen and paper ready, her contact information is also listed in that description box. Lorna, I thank you so much for um just being a part of my
Yes.
very first calendar and my interview. And she was with me, guys, all the way from the beginning. And the reason why I decided to feature Lorna and ask her to be a part of the calendar is simply because of just her enthusiasm in talking about being an author. And I was like, man, we gotta ooze that onto the viewers. We gotta ooze that onto some kids so they can, have that excitement just about reading and about
Yeah.
writing as well. And I definitely thank you, Asha, for taking time out of your schedule. I don't know if you really wanted to do the interview or you just didn't feel like doing your paper yet.
Right.
It's all coming out.
Oh no, this is what I do. It's my brain, how it works is like if I know I'm time crunching, like what I'll do is, okay, I'll take some time, like I will space out, and then I'll go like organize something. So like I may go and like redo the entire bathroom, or like I literally just redid the entire pantry just to get my brain organized, and then I'll go into writing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
That makes sense though. It really does. I tell people all the time, I have the best ideas while I'm washing dishes. And I thought it was just me. And then I read an article where someone was talking about washing dishes and getting their story ideas. So I guess it's just being productive.
Yeah, yeah, and I think also like the mundaneness of it, like something that you don't have to really think about, and then
Right.
you can really like have the juices flowing. But again, Asha, I thank you for just taking time and interviewing author Lorna Lewis as well. Make sure you guys continue to share this interview so that more people know about Lorna and her services that she offers, as well as her book and just her script writing as well. Also, make sure that you visit our all of our social media links. Follow us because that's actually how I keep everybody up to date on the different interviews and the different products that we have. And if you are interested in purchasing any of our products, you can go to that description box as well, right there, where it says career exploration products. Click on that link. But I definitely thank you all for taking time to watch another episode of our Today I Want to Be Career Exploration. The purpose of it is to start having those conversations with your kids or students about what they want to be when they grow up. It's okay to start talking about it now and just trying different things to see what they're truly interested in doing. I hope that you guys have a great remainder of the night. We will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.